All right, bring it in, friends. I want to have a heart-to-heart, a conversation with my fellow gamers in general, because I see this as a trend across all gaming, even though this particular video is inspired by an absolutely asinine decision by Mark Rosewater in Magic the Gathering. I started playing back in 1993, 1994-ish, and one of the biggest reasons I started playing was the art. It felt a little dark, a little adult-themed for me. Not like nudity or sexual situations or anything like that. Just cool. There was something cool about it, and that was what I liked about it. And maybe I'm the only one out there. Seems unlikely, though. Then I fell in love with the game itself. Magic the Gathering, I still say, is the best card game in history, run by the worst company in history. And yesterday, after a slew of just terrible decisions over the past years, Mark Rosewater confirmed that they have actually made a conscious decision to draw the women puritanical. Why? Because a small subset of people might be offended by it. And I think that leads into, I don't want to go to the quote, but I want to show you. If you watch my second channel, The Quartering, which is quickly catching up here to Unsleeved Media, you'll know that I have a phrase there called "Get woke, go broke." This is exactly what I'm talking about. And if you want to support the channel, you want to support the message, I have two stunning t-shirts in several different designs featuring this art. And I would absolutely love to see pictures of you wearing this out on the street, wearing it to your local game store to get the message out there. Look, drawing, you don't have to over-sexualize things. You don't have to, go too far. But the idea that you would choose a small subset over the majority is exactly why Magic sales continue to decline. Follow the link in the description to join the club. Anyway, well, let's go to Mark Rosewater's blogatog, where he answers a question. User asks, I noticed there isn't as much cheesecake art in Magic as there used to be. Can you bring some of that back and put in beefcake art for the ladies too? Gideon seems to be a good candidate for the latter. Essentially, this user is noticing that there has been a change in the art. In how most of the men, for example, in the Ixalan set were shirtless and had 8-packs, all of the women were fully clothed. This is not, I postulated back then, I hypothesized in a previous video talking about the Ixalan art that this was probably a conscious decision, and people called me insane. Now we see the head of research and development from Magic the Gathering reply to that saying, we've made a conscious effort to move away from art that would make a subset of players feel uncomfortable to play it. You know what makes me uncomfortable? Playing gross SJW modeled after your employees cards like the ones we found in Battle Bond. Make no mistake about it, the art you featured in Battle Bond and Dominaria was directly representative of the blue-haired crazy weirdos that work at Wizards of the Coast. Nobody wants to see them in real life, and nobody wants to see them on the cards. Okay, perhaps that's a little harsh, but I just found out my dog has 12 cancerous lumps on his body today, and I'm not in a great mood. I'm not in a great mood about Mark Rosewater taking a minority, a self-admitted minority mindset. By the way, can you let me know if there's anybody out there who has felt uncomfortable playing with Magic cards based on a woman being too sexy? Now, if you play some of the, Japan games a little bit more, you've got your waifus, you got your jumblies, you've got your jiggle physics in those cards. But Magic the Gathering has absolutely never been a game that has ever come to mind, at least in my opinion, as being over-sexualized or making somebody uncomfortable. Not even when they printed a pentagram back in 1993 and 1994 on the card Unholy Strength, which they eventually reprinted without it for whatever reason. And, well, they bowed to social pressure, just like they always do. But I'm curious out there, who exactly was complaining about Magic the Gathering cards being too sexualized? If you played Weiss Schwarz, or you played some of these other waifu games. I wish I had one sitting around me to show some big jumblies. Oh, Force of Will is actually the one. Force of Will was the one I was trying to think of. Again, I don't have any problem with that, but at least you could maybe have an argument. Like, you have a bunch of women with their cups overflowing, or their cups overfloweth, and you're targeting kids 8 to 13. I get it. Okay, but let's be real here. 8-year-old kids are not buying Magic cards. 10-year-old kids are not buying Magic cards. Magic primarily is purchased by people 16 and older. And I think we can handle a little cleavage. I mean, have you seen today's music videos? Have you seen what everybody's watching on TV? Have you seen what everybody's watching in the movie theater? What makes Magic the Gathering so specific that it needs to be so puritanical? Other than the simple ideological belief of many far-left people that beauty is bad. There has been many scientific studies that both men and women prefer their actors and actresses to be attractive. This is normal human nature. This is not discrimination. And certainly the multiverse is big enough to have both attractive cheesecake females, beefcake males, and you can have covered up women and men. You can have overweight men and women. You can have clothed men and women. You can have a good mixture of both. But to simply outright state that you're going away from sexy art because it triggers a small subset, who? You know what? Like this video if you want Magic art to be less puritanical, and let me know. Hey, maybe a bunch of you will dislike it because you think I'm wrong. But this problem extends into all of pop culture. We see the exact same problem in Marvel Comics, DC Comics, specifically Marvel. The men don't look like men, and the women don't look like women. This is on purpose. Make no mistake about it. This is a part of an ideology-driven art. There's a reason that we have three-dimensional crappy art, non-memorable art. It's cheap. They hire their friends. They don't hire who's best. And the thing is, the reason Mark Rosewater posts this shit on Tumblr is because that's where the people that agree with him are. Less than probably 1% of Magic players. But even he got some pushback. Yeah, people who think children are going to be scarred by seeing boob armor are probably ruining their children's mental state pretty well on their own. Ha! Got him! Jesus, what the hell is wrong with people? Elvis Ranger's illustration is somehow harmful for 7-year-olds? Are you crazy? This is truly delusional, and being ignorant, this bullshit seems exactly the right way to go. One of the most unique styles in MTG, you just don't notice it because you don't really look at the art. Wait, I'm sorry. Skin is the prison of the blessed and the stronghold of the heretic, and I have a flesh allergy. I'm so very much appreciate the change. I feel uncomfortable playing with shitty 3D art. Can we stick to good art, please? Except, Enthralling Victor, which features a shirtless man with an 8-pack, they reprinted that in Battlebond. This is about, make no mistake about it, okay? Like, I don't care if this sounds crazy to you. I invite you to use the comment section down below to prove me wrong. This is about making the women ugly and puritanical. That's what this is about. It has nothing to do with men, okay? You're still printing loads of shirtless beefcakes. They've made all the attractive women fully clothed or old ladies or fat, and they tell us, the players, that this is woke, that this is what we want. Yet, Grand Prix attendance is down 20%. The company is down massively year over year in quarter one, and we're about to get quarter two results. Will sales be up? I doubt it. Even with the successes of Origins and Battle Bond, I'm not sure it's enough to put the numbers year over year up. And it doesn't look like Core 19 is doing well. And that's going to be compared to last year's Modern Masters release or Iconic Masters or whatever. So, again, it's a small thing. But then you add ugly art on top of bad card stock, on top of virtue signaling online, on top of policing people's social media, and then you lose 20% of your player base, and you lose another 20%. And the only people you have left are the insane people who think a little bit of cleavage is bad for the game.